How's it going, everyone? And welcome to the finale of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This has been long overdue, actually. I have started this series a reasonable time ago, and this is already off to a fantastic start. But anyways, as I was saying, I started this series off a considerable amount of time ago with recorded videos while I was still in my first year of uni. Let's go in. It's locked. How's it going, BVR? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, Turnabout Samurai really doesn't help you that much. It doesn't hold your hand like the other two did. So, good luck. That's all I can say, honestly. So, I want to say a few things before I start. So, yesterday I uploaded episode 15 again. And I'm dumb. I'm incredibly dumb because I had edited the video and I had rendered it, but I uploaded the full thing again. Well, fortunately for me, it didn't get blocked. I did get a notification of a copyright strike, so I can't monetize my video, but whatever. I don't even get money from videos yet, so I'm just happy I didn't screw up twice. And that's basically it. No, actually no, it's not. Before I start the case itself, the trial, the final trial, I want to say that this is my last stream before uni restarts, which is, as I said before, on the 6th of March. I do have 2 extra days of vacation, the 4th and 5th of March, but I can't stream on those days because I'll be occupied the entire day. So this is like the finale of the streams for now until probably like June. So it's a long time. It's a very long time. So let's make this one count, guys. Let's make this one count and let's hop into the trial. Rise from the ashes, final day, trial former. As I said yesterday, this case has 2 possible endings. A good ending, which I'm aiming to get, and a bad ending, which, let's be honest, no one wants. The photo that makes up the thumbnail is part of the good ending, which I really want to get because it's one of the most heartwarming endings I've ever seen. Golden Sun is still a thing, though. Anyways, let's go. February 25th, 9:47 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Oh no! Oh, it's Edgeworth. Okay. Something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 77's ID number is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. This is too loud for me, sorry. Why is it always on 30? 30 is super loud. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt on this ID record. If that number does belong to you whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling on the defendant. 5 minutes after the trial starts, Lana will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Yes. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SR9 incident. Don't be stupid, today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you lose your only chance to find out what really happened. Well, think about it. See you in court, Wright. Edgeworth's our boy, he's got our back. He's got our back. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gent has on her, it's now. February 25th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. Oof. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is where the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gent. Hello, I just materialized. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, have you been back to the pool yet? Oh, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. That's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, what exactly is this proposal of yours? Let us freeze the game for a second. Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Uh-oh. She's gonna confess, isn't she? What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! Well, that's a fantastic start! You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has a right to self-representation. Nah, her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue the trial, even if Miss Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Objection! There it is! One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edward! The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut? Not this time. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Redworth, I am exercising myself to self-representation, my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. Damn Edgeworth. Edgeworth has been roasted like this whole case, and he's just like laying it out all in, just going all in. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Damn. Hey, Emma. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Redworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. He sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Oh yeah, let's go. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Here we go. 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. Oof. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edward, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Ooh, let's start. This is a fantastic start. 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under Chief Detective Gent. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Chief Detective Gent and Miss Kai used to be quite the pair. I believe they share the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. I love how Edgeworth went from never beaten to always Oh, that is sad. That is actually sad. The ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in and took me hostage. A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of the ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator... Oh god, the burps have started! Well, I lasted 12 minutes. It's getting better, guys. It's getting better. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. But that's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Detective Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Gant was there too? Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that it would also be why he was the first one to run after Dark. And Dark grabbed me, I thought I was good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in? I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw that instant. Alright, let's see. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out. Lights? It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out? Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? I'm gonna ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added the statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
No! No, it can't be. It can't be, can it? Where is it? List of evidence in the SL9 incident, ripped in half, so only part remains. It is. A picture is drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. I've got a bad feeling about this. Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you still insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What's this? There it is. Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it! That's the picture I drew!
Indeed, 2 men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? This is the worst case of it. Yeah, there's a running joke. Well, actually, it's really a running trend even about Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games, or even Ace Attorney games, or investigation games, that the third case is always the worst. In every single game, there's no escaping that. It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, it's always a filler case. That the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These 2 lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here, where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? Yeah, I would be like that too. Or who would have thought the picture would have been drawn on the back of the list?
That was handed to Detective Goodman in the questioning room.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then what that means... Your Honor, are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your heads. He's just like, just gotta think. I know the answer to this. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Well, yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Oh god, he's making an earthquake happen. Sorry, Your Honor. There's something drawn on the back of my list. This is that thing. No! 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 It's the blue badger! No! Kill it! Oh, hey, Rage! How's it going? Thanks for coming in, man. Take that, Edgeworth. Oh, nice to see you here. This means you probably have some free time. That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Apparently the head of criminal affairs used this for his blueprint. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Yeah, me neither. I guess, yeah, as I said, I guess this must mean he has some free time. The evidence list has been updated. Yay! Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? Okay. You do you, man. That parody is gold, though. That parody is really good. It has some strong words, but it's really just that. She seemed to be thinking about something when she saw the picture. No, but thanks for showing up. It's always appreciated. And this picture.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of the lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. After that I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw that instant.
You think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind?
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
I don't know. It's just a common thing throughout the games. A really common thing. Like, the third case is always the worst. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright, let's see what we can find here. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. Hold it! Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later.
Oh my god. Why VPR? This is not Pokemon meets Ace Attorney. That was Wednesday and that worked out just fine, didn't it?
At first I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the detective team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gann and Landis Kai. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind. I mean, it's a murder. The memory's bound to be fresh. Excuse me, witness. Can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
She said that before. The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows.
So at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue?
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor?
Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed?
After that, I must have fainted.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable. You were freaking 14 at the time. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh god. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy.
Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw that instant.
Huh, interesting. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
Scene. God, learn to read. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
No, of course not.
I better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well...
That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind, and yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Alright then, do I have to present the photo itself? Okay, nope, that's an oopsie. That's the first oopsie of the stream. Let's go. The witness statement is clearly alright, Your Honor. Yeah, I can see that. You are a moron. Unfortunately, I will have to... Yeah, I'm gonna blow up. Boom. Must be under... Okay, so it's here. I know, but... Ugh. Do I have to press again? I don't know. Maybe the knife? Oh, that's the second oopsie in a row. Yay! Okay, I need to stop. Maybe... Thus, I don't see anything contradictory, huh? Really? Oh, God. That's 2 oopsies in a row. That's a first for me. Alright, I'm gonna press it again then. It has to be that. God damn it, yeah. What do I present, damn it? Okay. Okay, let's think. I'm actually gonna save because I don't want to lose at the finale. That just be stupid. I want to get a game over. I never got a game over in an Ace Attorney game, actually. The Attorney badge. Oh my god, that would have been amazing. Oh, what is it then? Huh. This picture shows exactly what I saw that instant. It has to... Maybe the SL9 incident files? No. Okay. It's... I need to present something here, but I don't... I actually might have to look it up. I don't like doing this, actually. Of course I don't. Maybe the picture? No, it isn't. I've tried that. I thought it would be, right? I'm at a loss, actually. Because if I present this, it just doesn't work. Oh, I didn't mean... Well, I'm restarting. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know what button I pressed, but I didn't mean to do that. And I might be stuck. The first time I get stuck here. This picture shows exactly what I saw that instant. It has to be here. Okay, it's not about Okay, this is weird. This is incredibly weird, actually. I would have sworn I would have to present that, but I really don't know. Wait. Oh! I got it! I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember like it was just yesterday. Takes out all the evidence. Yeah, Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? Yeah, the knife. It wasn't broken. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. In fact, you don't even have to look closely to see that. But, Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
Yeah, it looked like a ruler as well, yeah. It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. Huh? Where could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Oh! What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. How did the... Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. But what does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Objection! One more! Add one more. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. I am dying. Order! 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 Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Yeah, so far so good. The prosecutor Neil Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there's a lie. I'm not lying. That man really was the man was really holding a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's? Could there have been one? No, there is another one. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife? If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. The answer lies yes, and I didn't say anything because there is only one other broken knife, and if you look, it's not my attorney's badge. If you look closely at this picture, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The answer lies in the past, 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the award ceremony. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Crash, what was that? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding. Notice. Paper cuts are indeed, Rage. Indeed, paper cuts are lethal. That's a broken knife. How could what? Okay, this is something that always bothered me with Rise from the Ashes. How would someone take that as a murder weapon? It's an award, it's a ceremony trophy. It's not meant to be like made to cut things or stab things or kill things. Okay, whatever. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the picture was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood this award. Order! Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. Haven't you heard the new Pokemon type is paper? Everything is... Oh man, you know, that kind of sounds like Shadow Pokemon from the GameCube games. That's why no one... Oh, dude, that would make an amazing case. I need to start writing cases for my my second Discord bot, which replicates Ace Attorney, by the way. Hashtag totally not self-promoting my bot. As an award, he was given this broken shield and a broken knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. That can't be. Well, I haven't been working on either of my bots lately, actually, because I mean, I'm on holidays. Holidays is like, I don't feel like it. Like, uni is coming back. I'm gonna have more time to work on my personal stuff, including videos that I'm editing because I'm too lazy to edit videos because it's just me. I'm a lazy guy, and we're in programming as well as studying. Well, it's gonna be 70% studying, 15% editing, 15% programming. I'd say that balances out. But that can't be.
Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon.
Yeah, and especially if it's a 52-minute video. What have I gotten myself into? Another top 10 that's 52 minutes. Ugh. I mean, I love, but I like editing. Let's be real, I like editing.
Then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh. Oh! That reaction is priceless. The prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Eduardo's 52 top 10s.
Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
You can market them that way. Jesus. Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
No, it's the Blue Badger. I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
What? You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture.
No. No. No.
All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Okay, phrasing, Emma. Whoa, okay. Phrasing. This is just like that Kingdom Hearts scene when Sora asks if Kyrie's inside him. Whoa, okay. Phrasing. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you recall, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up and now the Blue Badger? This should be interesting. Emma's recollection.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the Blue Badger.
Wait a minute! She says she knocked away the man with the knife. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't like this. I don't like where this is going.
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
Even the judge is confused. This is certainly most unusual. Try impossible. The head detective of criminal affairs didn't even design him until this year.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may not begin its cross-examination.
Stop! Please, don't pursue this any further.
The key dang... Lana. What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Ooh, she's hiding something. Silence! Silence! Mahogany. God, Dragon Ball Z abridged. So good. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter.
Well, I know where you can find the key, but you can find the key, I think it was in the guard station, but good luck getting old bag out of there. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked the way... Alright, this is one of another of the few parts I remember. You guys are not gonna believe what the Blue Badger is. The mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this. I know, it's BS. It's utter BS what I'm saying right now, but I wish I was joking. Relax. He was kind of disturbed by your little brother. Oof. So basically the key is in the guard station, but good luck getting old bag out of there.
What exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Our viewpoint?
What? Then I really don't know. I hate this part. Let's see if I can do this one in one go. This has to be super specific, actually. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I remember how I do this. Yeah, I know. Okay, come on. Okay, come on. Oh, there we go. Oh, nope. Still not right. Oh, no. Oh, there it is. Will it accept? Please accept. Stop dancing! Well, is this a miracle or what? Oh, it accepted. Oh, it accepted. Because, yay, touchscreen controls. It's not even the problem. Because this part is infamous for many Ace Attorney fans for one particular reason. The angle has to be super precise for it to accept. Like, I'm not even joking. The first time I did this, I tried like 20 times before I got it right. Because it was like 1 degree to the left, 1 degree to the right, 1 degree up, down, to all directions except the right one. And it pissed me off. I'm not even gonna deny that. It really made me angry. No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. Yeah, I know, right? No. It can't be! Damn.
Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witness on the day of the crime was actually this.
See, that's why I remember there was the jar, because this part just stick to my head like, okay, get it right. You know it's the jar, just get it right, please. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. Okay, I'm gonna say because I have no idea. This is another thing that I really don't like that Ace Attorney games do. Just like, the main protagonist is like, this changes everything, but I'm not gonna say to the player anything, because I want them to figure this out on their own. Indeed, very well then. Then please tell us. What's the difference now that we know the witness saw this jar? The murder weapon, the murderer? Huh. Well, the location was in Chief Gant's office, so I think we know that. The murder weapon, it's not. It has to be the murderer? Question mark? By process of elimination? I'm sure the guide machine doesn't know what it is. It seems legit. Okay. Allow me to take this in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. No, not only that, but she saw it at a very specific angle. Knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. I haven't actually, because I'm playing them chronologically, as in timeline-wise. I've played the trilogy, the original trilogy. I've played Apollo Justice. I'm currently playing through the first investigations. I'm gonna finish the second investigations, then I'm gonna play that one, then Dual Destinies, then Spirit of Justice. But I will get around to it. I heard it's somewhat decent, not as good as other Ace Attorney games though, unfortunately. Yeah. And these two facts that really I have already read this. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Laniskai's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
Yes. I finally figured it out. I'm a part of the... Yeah, I can... I can see that. But you should give them a go, actually. They're really good. And I should give Professor Layton a go as well, because I've never played it. I know it's a really, really good puzzle series, so I'm really curious as well. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Translation error. This case was added later, and they probably rushed the translation. Yeah, you can see that through... Oh my god. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword.
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the prosecutor's award.
No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Yes, there is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nonetheless.
I don't know if I can go through with this.
You shouldn't.
That's right.
So this is when you start to realize the part in which there's a bad ending. You kind of understand what happens, but you don't want to say it. And if you say it at the wrong time, no, I'm not doing both endings. Screw that. I'm not going back in time just to do both endings. No, I'm a sucker for good endings, so sorry.
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What have I done? I've doomed us all.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me?
Ooh, I can't do that scream. Nope, I would just probably burst my microphone. Oh, No, I'm not. Just relax, I'm not getting the bad ending.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
So it was a witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented!
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dart murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you.
Oh, the roast!
If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about.
If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me,
do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
This is the turning point.
Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can get the people to testify. I don't know. Hey Maya, can you channel spirits yet?
No.
Okay, go back to training.
Thanks.
This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Touche in the sky. Of course. That only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. Somehow.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind. And hey, Pizza God, thanks for coming in. How's it going? You're here. Watch the evidence. Watch the evidence. Watch the caps, my dude. All right. So I forgot what the turning. I know. I didn't forget. So this is not the turning point. Still, watch out. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? The voice crack.
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek, the truth. No matter how painful it may be.
All done, Mr. Wright.
Well, will we play the next stream? Well, as I've told yesterday, this is my final stream for a while. I have, how should I put this? I have university to attend to in the next 3 months. So I don't have time to stream anymore until June. So look forward to probably the continuation of Pokemon Ultra Moon by the time I return to streaming. I know it's sad, but hey, thanks. I really appreciate it. I still remember this as well. This is the message left by the deceased.
This is that Blue Badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name?
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Lana's not too pleased with us. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes,
there is a line here, drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. The blood must have seeped into the jar where the line changes directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No.
Oof. Case 2 returned. Why?
What kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make the letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. The murderer's name. I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. It was EA all along. Of course, it makes sense now. It makes sense now. They wanted us to pay. They wanted us to pay. Let's connect these. No, let's not. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove his client's innocence. You spelled Edgeworth wrong. Of course it was Edgeworth all along. How dare you, Wright? You just spent the entire last case trying to prove me innocent, and now you do this? I thought we were friends. Well, friends come, friends go. You know what? You know the drill. Judge, arrest him.
Very left. Mr. Edgeworth is accused and convicted of the murder of Neil Marshall.
God damn it, Wright.
That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. I'm sad now. Well, I shouldn't be anyways.
Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
was Emma Skye. See, Worthy? Can't say I didn't warn you. Don't worry, BVR. Chief Gant, you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? Don't worry, BVR. We're still on the good ending trail. I swear to you, this is not a prank. 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, I used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. Oh, didn't Edwards just had a seizure? But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. Reading. That's undeniable. He froze the game again. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone might say, this fact cannot be denied. Ooh. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order! Here we go, trial ladder. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared in recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Here we go, guys. The last segment of the game. Trial ladder, final day. We are getting into some deep stuff. I don't think even Phoenix and Edgeworth understand how complex the things. I don't even think they understand how complex this is about to get. February 25th, 12:06, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. February 25th. Oh, that's right, it is. I completely forgot. I even sent your birthday. I completely forgot. This case happened not too long ago. Like, in years speaking, it happened almost exactly 2 years ago. This is 2017 in game. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again? It's a regular workday. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. I'm sure you know the 2 rules of evidence law, don't you, Wright? Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Well, thanks, Lana. A chief prosecutor always wanted to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Ooh, sorry, the burps. The burp meme is back. Securely slip. Doesn't look like that look will do you any good now, though.
All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me. Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility has all been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Sky found out she was unwillingly the cause of a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal! Oh, God, you're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Damn right, Phoenix. February 25th, 12:52, District Court, courtroom number 9. We're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth.
This is the one that's the not under. Yes, he has always been. He always will be. Yes, Your Honor.
The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor. He's just like, I'm a bow before you. Thank you for bringing me this. Honestly, okay.
Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that Mr. Edgeworth may have,
struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and...
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
A solution?
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
What? But there's never been a case example.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal.
And it's settled. Defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. Ah, back to 5 exclamation points. Amazing. The defense calls. The time's finally come out to bring out the real murderer. It's obviously him who's dead. Yay! No, it's obviously well, just listen. Let's just do it. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
Secret inmate deals with every. As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
This is about to get really quickly. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. That would have been... Oh my god, my arm just became completely numb. Fantastic. Let's see how long it takes for it to regain consciousness. I can't feel my fingers. Sorry about this. Yes, choose a female witness. Okay, what was I going to say? Yeah, that would actually explain a lot of things at the rage, surprisingly. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. He's not happy. So, you want to play hardball, eh?
Please, Mr. Gant.
Fine. My name is David Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant. The court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. there are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh? Like what?
Like the role you played in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that the police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons? I'm so confused about case 3.
Yeah, sure, take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true?
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
I don't like him.
Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony.
SL9 incident.
As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
Is that when Dark was arrested?
Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious.
Ouch.
When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head.
I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut.
If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Yes. Yes, sonny boy. You should. And I think I know exactly what I need to do. At least I'd already arranged the crime scene. It's here. It has to be here. Where's the jar? Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe. Well, hi there. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. I'm sorry I'm skipping so much dialogue, but hard and fast. God damn it. Why? I mean, we just need to prove he was the killer, not kill him. We leave that to the executioner. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery, but I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example.
That's that blue badger you showed us earlier.
A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier, okay, damn it, was actually found inside your desk.
Was found where?
You see, Chief Gant? No,
Was found where?
it was more like a surprise thing than anything else. You see, Chief Gant? These articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. I'm a damn good attorney.
Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this?
Oh.
Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
So you admit to it then? You were involved in the forgery?
Who, me?
Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too.
Oh, I don't want to say anything, but just 2 words. Epic foreshadowing. You'll understand way later, along the series. You'll understand. Just don't forget these 3 words. Defense attorney forging. No, actually it's 4 words. Defense attorney forging evidence. Yes, that's it.
Isn't that right, Ryder?
However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation.
Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured Dick will receive his due punishment.
What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work.
Yes, well, in light of the detectives present, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene.
My. Kids these days no longer know how to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, by the way, this guy is 65 years old. I know he doesn't look like it, but he is. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. I don't believe so. I don't think so.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
When investigating a crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand that I'm the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know...
Alright, Edgy, in return, though...
I know. That place, right?
Huh? Why are these guys telepathic? F to pay respects for Gumshoe. Like he's already living on instant noodles. You could have planted them in my office. I'd appreciate it if you stopped making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped...
Mr. Wright, what are you saying?
What an idiot, man. Phoenix, you can be such a moron sometimes. Water, well, good. Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when your fingerprints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, that would prove your investigation was illegal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course, but suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, Mr. Wright. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. Truly, this seems like case 2 to me? Really? Well, I don't see the correlation, actually. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. Hey, how's it going, Golly? Thanks. He has an ace. Oh my god. How's it going, Golly? Thanks for giving in, man. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. The jar always wins. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Mr. Wright. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. I don't think so. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil?
I'm not sure I care for the word murder here, but in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye.
Oh god. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. I really don't think so. Really, Chief Gantz. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have. Chief of Police.
Oh.
I've got a jar of dirt. Damn it. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ooh. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? You really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway.
Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up reading again, or you might wind up being the one pointed at.
So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else.
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I'll look out for. Me, myself, and I.
What an egotistical douchebag.
Huh?
Swimming? Oh god. Yeah, I know that's the name of this song. It's been haunting me ever since I first finished Rise from the Ashes.
There, it's out in the open now. Udgy, would you mind if I change my testimony a little?
By all means, please do.
And Emma, oh god.
I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if
There wasn't nothing in it for me. Okay, I have an idea of what to present, but I kind of want to press it first. Nothing in it for you?
Sorry, but the only person I care is about...
Oh god. What is up with this? Focus, okay.
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lena's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
That makes it sound like God damn it. Yes. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out?
Yes.
True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Sir Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
That's not what I mean.
Very well, I'll ask. Who is this person you believe Chief Gat may have helped forge evidence? Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky? The defendant?
Of course it was! I mean, think about it. If Emma really was the culprit, Lana would do anything in her power to make sure that no one would find out. But she couldn't do it alone, could she? Think about it. Be smart. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Thank you, Phoenix. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, it would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. To be fair, Luigi makes a better death stare. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed Chief Prosecutor at the Prosecutor's Office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all this?
He would be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
You mean to tell me that despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets?
It's because it's... Just because it's you, Judge. I'm gonna let that one slide.
Oh, wait! So you must mean puppet, as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her.
Right, oh my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this? That I control Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant.
I'm afraid that without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless... that is also what happened in this incident.
This incident? Oh, which one would that be?
Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. I want you to be smart, but I know it's yes.
The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
What do you mean?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gann is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
What?
Ooh. Here we go, let's go.
Order, order, order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious.
Huh?
This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder. That's not impossible.
Oof. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edwards said in easier to understand language. Edwards gonna pass the ball at me, isn't he? It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Oof. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this.
Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder?
He's going Super Saiyan. His beard just turns yellow. Oh my god, that would have been amazing. Good question. Yeah, okay. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gann is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gann to the murder of Detective Goodman. Just remember, it better be good.
Okay. I kind of forgot, and I didn't save. So I'm gonna make an exception here, and for the first time ever in my streams, I'm gonna make a save state. I'm sorry, I know this is technically cheating, but I can't. I really can't. Oh, wait, I think I know. Is this it? No. No, I don't think it is, but I'm gonna present it.
Well, Chief?
So long as Mr. Wright is tossing out things regardless of their relevance. Mind if I toss something too edgy? This you should do nicely, I'll check it right at you.
Always were quite the joker, warned you.
Oops, looks like I got it wrong. Okay, I got it wrong. I know it's hard with all that's gone on during this trial. But try to think back to what happened in the evidence room for 4 days ago. Now that he mentions it, we did find something out in yesterday's investigation. Something that proves Gann entered— Oh, I'm stupid. I'm just stupid. Looks like he wants another one of your shoes, Udgy. But the screwdriver is going in soon, I think.
I see. Alright then, show us this evidence that ties Chief Gann to the murder.
Yeah, just remember that bad gig. It's yeah. Gets Phoenix wrong.
This is the ID card list.
Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 7 7s. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. I just love the simplicity.
What? How do you know that?
The safe in Chief Gann's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code.
7 digits? You don't mean...
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7 7s. The same as the remaining ID card on that number on that list. Chief Gann, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Let's go!
Or, Chief Gann, what do you have to say?
Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright to be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Chief Gann, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime?
What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do in the evidence room.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you on that day, would he?
Of course not. Why would he be? I haven't seen him in days.
You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant? I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
That's true. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Linus Guy's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim...
Is it the trophy? It's got to be the trophy, isn't it? The day of the crime was the day of the ceremony. It has to be it. Can I save? Oh, sorry. Well, let's try it. No, there's got to be something more solid than this. On that day, Detective Goodman had...
Yeah, sorry to interrupt your mumblings, but the court was waiting.
God damn it! I'm not... Why don't you come meet with me tomorrow? Perhaps we could write up your letter of termination? Regardless, you did see Detective Goodman... Okay. Oh, no, I know. Okay. I think I know. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Yes! Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filed out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Chief of Police. Yeah, you are in possession of the report, which means you can be sure he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day.
He needed to?
Yes, to transfer the evidence out.
Oh.
Detective Goodman took the form from you to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murder poor Goodman. Exactly.
Wait! The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done just something of the sort. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. But you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. It's going Super Saiyan! I love that reaction. Oh, speaking of reaction, I don't know if the game's gonna break. Alright, let's try to make this as quick as possible. I only have another hour to go.
Chief Gant, you didn't.
The murder was most likely committed on the spur of the moment. No one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why else? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body. However, the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. There we go, the screwdriver comes into play now. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was just a useless clue taking up space. There we go.
How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence.
To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. And now the screwdriver comes into play. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body.
What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case?
Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go, by Chief Gant no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it at the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back to the prosecutor's office.
Oh, there it is. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office, but you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car.
Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Yes, unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to carry evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Sky.
Order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to defense's outrageous accusations?
Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It's a photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something!
I believe... Your time's up.
Alright, time's up.
Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going to make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stab old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor?
Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Sky dispose of his body.
Do I have any concrete proof? I have no proof. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Edgy?
In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief.
What? I don't gamble unless the stakes are high. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Edgy, I'll leave the rest to you. Oh, boy.
I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to the senior officer in our relations law enforcement agency.
What? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Edgeworth. Lady Luck, maybe you should have a word with her. Still good ending. I promise. I'm not making this up. This is still the good ending part.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth. Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist?
She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth Lana Sky.
The defendant? Miss Lana Sky?
Get on the stand. I know everything about this case. I can do anything. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. I need to hurry up. I don't have much more time. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in
Hold on. Huh? Oh, it's... Hold on. Huh?
Chief Gant, I thought we were going to eat.
Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claim, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. This isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway. Right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. You little...
Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess.
I don't like where this is going. February 25th, 2:04 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief. He's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe! I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office! My office? Ooh. Sure. I'll take the place of that top-notch girl you used to work with. Could he mean... Maya? Yes, yes. It's because it's the chief of police, right? You gotta understand. Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said?
But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked, and the burps are back. There are certain risks to be considered.
Risks? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. Who's talking? You mean he forfeits his right to say anything to... Emma! Emma! I just said that. Are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in a medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with this forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. Oh no, another to be continued? Seriously? It's just a time waster. Let's go, I don't have time. Yes! You hear my pressing of the keyboard. February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Beaten up is better than clap. Yeah, okay. Wait, what, it was actually beaten up? Whoa.
Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand?
Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course. The truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Oof. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Gant.
Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Gant and the fabrication. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Oh no. Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana...
This is true. Then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself.
And the text is moving so slow. Begins by now, begin its cross-examination. Let's go.
Alright, oh, I don't remember. Worked the lock knife again for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence. Alright, I really want to see this. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana.
That's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago?
I really don't remember now, honestly. I actually don't remember. I think you give her the card, the key card. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. Okay, come on, hurry. You say you did all this by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed it was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down! She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies! Oh, so I don't know. All just to protect me.
So when you found a scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife and planted it inside the wound, then moved the body.
Ooh, there we go.
You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound?
And then you moved the body.
But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edward. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why did you plant the knife? Why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason this guy moved the body.
The pieces of the jar that shattered during the event threatened my plan. I don't believe that. Pieces of the jar, you mean? Yes, that wretched jar Mr. Wright showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have broken during their struggle.
I see.
What's the matter, Emma? Apparently, the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. So it's, of course, it's in that. Okay. It's gotta be the jar then, right?
There it is. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered?
If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been useless. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction in my testimony?
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
You have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write this message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar.
Order!
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here.
Something critical?
Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're in as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed.
What?
Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
Very well, the witness may now continue your testimony.
Come on, let's go. Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I can think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Okay.
You mean you were the one who wiped away this message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Alright. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time. Alright, let's start with this. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened.
What do you mean?
If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. Fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all.
Didn't we?
I'm gonna press, just to be sure, but how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. The detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry my bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece.
I can think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Why was that? So you will illegally arrange the crime scene.
Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time.
It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident.
No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office.
More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony.
Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing the right thing. This is the right way. Ah, nice. Nice, BBR. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. What was it then? I didn't notice! Fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. Well, I'm gonna present what I think it is. I'm gonna say first. I'm actually gonna speed up because I'm really begging for time. Sorry, I'm speeding up. I think I know what it is. There it is. Yes. Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? Oh god.
I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it.
But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Kent got there before you.
Ooh. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed the piece?
I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective.
Oh, may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha! Can you believe that?
You idiot. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on the shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Kent. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar?
The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
He's gonna have a breakdown.
Yep, he had a breakdown. Alright, please tell me we're nearly at the end. I only have half an hour left.
Wait, I'm not the one on trial here.
Damon Gann arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication.
But why would Chief Kent do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Sky believed her sister killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And here is the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became the chief's puppet, and this thing is already failing again. Oh, she bit her finger. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul of lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client.
I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth.
Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Lana, maybe you're right after all.
What do you mean, Wright?
So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. Actually, just walk out right now. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you'll tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw.
All right. The witness may testify once more for the final time.
Let's go. The final testimony, please. Let's finish this quickly. The actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gann help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword?
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. Oh no, come on, I need to see this quickly. It's in the book, isn't it?
What, to me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
But I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you.
Well, Mr. Wright, please present this picture.
I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check out that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere.
Hurry up.
Open sesame.
How can I open this thing? There it is. Hurry up.
Hey, there's a picture here.
Oh boy.
Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. That's because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I rearranged the scene. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest! Could that be... The cloth was found inside Chief Gant's safe.
Wait a minute! Emma's innocent! I'll explain my reasoning later, but Emma's innocent. What's this? Yeah, blah blah blah, we've seen this before.
It's a handprint. That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whosever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What?
But those fingerprints...
They're yours, Emma. Why are your lips a bit turning all blue, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flesh out the real murderer.
Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
I need to be quick about this. Really quick. 25 minutes. I know I'm on a strict time schedule, I know. Oh? Of course. Come now, Udgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen.
Chief Gant.
What, now you want to make me up as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
What?
You already declined testimony. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be the risk the judge was talking about. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck.
Damn! Oh, he's pissed. He's pissed. Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements.
What do you mean?
The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence?
No, I don't, but someone does.
Someone?
So then, what's your excuse, Righto?
Ooh, oh, okay, this is it. Yes, this is it.
Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves you knocked over near Marshall, causing his death? Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt.
Is that true, Mr. Wright?
If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer.
Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. If you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Okay, so this is where it deviates between good and bad ending. And obviously I'm gonna show good ending. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie.
Chief Gant?
You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture.
Thanks a lot, Chief Gant.
See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
Looks like part of it has been cut off for some reason.
You mean you had this in your safe?
What? That means you, the Chief of Police, concealing evidence. This is going to be The biggest scandal in the history of the police department.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gal, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened.
What? You mean you admit to it?
Ooh. I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her?
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with their sister, then when she saw the scene, she would ask for me for my aid.
So you assisted Miss Sky.
I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted.
When we rearranged the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. I did this before Lana arrived at the scene.
2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe?
Why?
For insurance, of course.
Insurance?
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence?
Who do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood of all pieces.
But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too?
Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance.
You mean that piece of cloth?
Come on, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it you should have shown it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Show evidence. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
And this might seem like a dumb move, but I swear to you, it's still 100% on the good ending path. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes! At last you finally brought it out into the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather, there must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean?
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
You're as slow on the uptick as ever, Worthy.
What?
Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that?
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Damn, Phoenix is mastermind. Phoenix is a damn mastermind. Alright, let's just say it.
Emma Sky?
What? They're mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me.
Oh, it's true. Tragic but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you? You monster!
Miss Sky!
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Sky,
It's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter, cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict?
Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Hey Kip, thanks for coming in. You arrived just at the finale. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. Oops. See where the piece of his vest was cut out?
Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest though.
Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth.
Oh, but that piece of cloth! Wait, there's no blood on it! Ugh.
Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his hand on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armored sword? Then to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death. Of course you have to guess. Said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. Then he broke the jar on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? And you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Though through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! Damn. It's finished. It's not finished, though. There it is. That was close, Wright. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations.
What do you mean you refute his allegations?
You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Oof. Here we go.
Order, order! What nonsense is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Archie? Earlier, old Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. Yeah, so then, what's your excuse, Wright? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence.
At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair! Did you actually think you could bit past me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son.
I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edwards?
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright.
It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Dude, this guy has had a plan in his head for the longest time and never told the player anything.
That's right, you admitted to it. Did you purposefully and illegally conceal this piece of cloth?
I did not. Certainly. I refused to present evidence at one point.
So the evidence is illegal.
No, it isn't, Mr. Gant.
Huh?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then, it's that I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence.
No, Edgy, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't let him.
There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now.
Evidence law. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law.
What's this?
I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more.
What?
You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SLN incident.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
Exactly. Sorry, but can you recall, when was that picture presented?
It was shown only a few moments ago.
No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest.
Oh, yes. No!
It was then that you approved this cloth and as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moment. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant, the killer was you. Okay, this breakdown. Let's see if the game breaks. This part is amazing. So stupid. You know what happened? He clapped at an amazing rate of 30 claps per second. I'm not kidding. Oh, my seizure warning, exactly. So, this guy clapped at a rousing 30 claps per second. I wish I was kidding. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman. Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you gotta help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he had to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He told me to open up the evidence room and take it out. It's not too late. I'll hand this to Marshall.
Well, to be honest, I was a little panicked too. I had a bad feeling about it, but never knew it would come to this. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife.
Oh.
I couldn't just pull it out.
It would only increase the amount of blood and you couldn't finish what you started.
Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I was wiping it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my mistake.
Detective Gumshoe's bloody handprint.
I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it.
And you put the body in my car.
I'm sorry. We couldn't think of any other way to move the body. We broke the trunk, but what's the big deal? You pulled down a lot more than us detectives.
What does this have to do with anything? I think I can make it. I think I can make it. Well, I might stream a bit over 5, but I don't know how long. It depends on what happens. You're horrible! How could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this?
Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out.
So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker.
I feel bad for having to do it. I couldn't sit around and pick and choose what to take.
Well, you left a jar fragment in gloves.
Yeah, it looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer.
Here we go, finally.
They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They did their jobs well, much to my dismay.
Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that.
Tell me, Worthy, what are you doing in court?
Me?
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. If you want to take them on alone, you'll figure out what's needed. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy.
What?
Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend.
I'm sorry too, Damon Gann. I knew you as you used to be, long ago. You were once a fine investigator and example to others in the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person.
Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here, and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. See, if I listen carefully right now, I can hear it right now. The sound of a new beginning.
I'm just checking outside, seeing if everything's alright. There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes?
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gann betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gann help me forge evidence up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered.
I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My, what high standards you have. For a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top.
Oh my god, she smiled. What is this?
I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing.
Liar.
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it. I only did my job.
In light of this case, it seems a good self-examination is in order for all of us. Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains.
Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the changing of large charge murder, the court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky,
Not guilty. Can you hear it? The sound of the end. That is all. Court is adjourned. I forgot how long the last trial day was. February 25th, 5:03 p.m. This recorded defendant lobby number 2. At long last, it's finally over. Okay. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now after the trial ended.
I can see why me and Faye thought so highly of you. Actually, no. Right now it's 5:01. Lol.
And to you too, Mr. Edward.
You've suffered every bit as much as I... Yeah, I've seen this, so let's just skip over to get less time.
You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Ah, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Again, third time this case. I know. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around and top it off. You call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
Lana!
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you want.
Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago.
Again.
Damn it. It was the first time in my life I ever felt panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis. I asked Dan to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. And hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, this is so cute. You know, I debated putting this as my thumbnail, but I wouldn't. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our path. And once we found our path, we can move on from our past mistakes toward a brighter future. What an ending, man. What an ending! At least that's what I felt looking at those sisters making those two sisters making up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. Mate! Thank you both for all you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right? Edgeworth. Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Hi there. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right, well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't change my own mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gan was right. Yeah, we've all seen this. We despise criminals, I can feel it. You and I, and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand, blah blah blah. Yes, we've seen this. Hurry up, I don't have time. I'm already stretching as I am now. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. It's scary, but I've been thinking the same thing for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, won't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. That may be right, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. There it is! The music I was looking for. You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Huh? Yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lon is talking about. Evidence that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own? Well, I can only think of one thing. That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, what happened in this trial can either make or break you as a prosecutor. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth. I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. I'd better be getting back too. Okay, I'll come visit you. It seems we both still have a lot to learn. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific Investigation is the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. It's over. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. It's finally over. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? Thanks, Rage. The problem isn't, I wasn't sure, it's not that I wasn't sure if I was gonna do it. The problem is, it took so damn long to do it. There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison have a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here is the one who will be footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I could afford that with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh? 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 Thank you, Mr. Wright, you're the best. Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream. Since we're all here, why don't we all go together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Oh, God. Yes! Oh. What a game. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. She's a coroner. I think Emma will be pleased. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. I just want to point something out. Never forget Emma Skye. Just a hint. Oh god. This game is simply fantastic.
And the simple fact that there are like 8 of these games is freaking amazing. Yikes, I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it could be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. Jesus, it just goes to show, you can't take me off that easily. Like gum on your shoe, he's truly impossible to get rid of. Alright. Is she coming back? Maybe? Maybe? Alright, here we go. Oh god, please help. Oh no. I didn't mention to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Ah, yes sir, that I can be just like that Pikachu. My ears. Ugh. What can I say about this, actually? I usually talk during the credits about the game, but I just can't do it. It's too good. Oh, no, wait. Is this thing gonna die? Is this thing gonna die? Please die. Thank you, it died. Okay. Basically, what can I say about this game? This game is a staple in puzzle and in the puzzle genre, and it's freaking phenomenal. The simple fact that it exists proves that humanity has a good imagination for making up case. Oh, you. What is it? Can you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Tom managed to sneak this one to me. She's seeing one of the guards, it seems. Wow. You even gave Bambina back her smiles. Can you make sure Billy and their gang get their water? Oh my god. So, as far as making these cases, like, ordering them in terms of... Oh, looks like we won't be seeing... Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Right Way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. As I was saying, ordering these cases in order of likeness, that's what I was gonna say. My favorite is obviously Rise from the Ashes. What a screamer. Like an amazing case. If this wasn't added... Oh, the judge. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he'd been doing something. Or other. For, how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I better be... Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go. Anyways, after Rise from the Ashes is obviously Turnabout Goodbyes, then Turnabout Sisters, then the first Turnabout, and then... No, actually, Turnabout Samurai is before the first Turnabout. The first Turnabout is the one I like the least because it holds your hand. I mean, sure, it's meant to do that. It's the first case of the series, but whatever. Oh, Maya! Nothing soothes like like fresh but still, sometimes I do miss hearing Nick and his objections. Still, I can't go back until I'm a fully fledged spirit medium. Maya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming. Well, see you around, Nick. Turnabout Samurai for me is better than the first Turnabout. Simply because the first Turnabout just held your hand constantly. I mean, as I said, it's supposed to do that. It was the tutorial case of the whole series, but whatever. They made a bad habit out of those first trials, and I really disliked it. Which we're gonna see as soon as I get into Justice for All, which is not gonna be now. Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? I brought you your tea. What's going on? You almost lost. You're kidding me, right? It was so obvious. It's not even funny, BVR. What can I say? An amazing game, amazing franchise, and I sure hope Capcom keeps making games of this series. Oh, hey Emma. Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I went to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Oh, come on, you're kidding me! Oh, whatever. You have made me want to start playing. It's a really good series. Oh no, let's see it. There it is! There it is, that's the picture. An amazing picture too. Managed to finish it. Didn't know if I could because of time constraints. Oh boy. So yeah, that was the game. Yeah, it just starts up like this again. Ah, man, what can I say? It's an amazing franchise, and I think everyone who likes puzzle games should give this a go. So yeah, this was the last stream I'm gonna do for a while, as I said. Uni is coming back next Wednesday, and until then I will not have another opportunity to stream, so I'll see you guys in the summer again! Yay! Don't worry, I'm still gonna be active on Discord, so I can talk to you guys. So yeah, I think that's about it. Guys, thank you all so much for assisting me throughout this little holiday vacation thing, 3 months at home that I had. It was amazing making all these streams again, and let me tell you, it was a nice experience. Hey, thanks a lot, Rage. I'm glad you guys made like the stream. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you like the stream, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you are new to the channel. If you want to get notified of my future streams/uploads, hit that little notification bell next to the subscription button. You know what to do. Link to my Discord is also in the description. Guys, until next time, peace!